A new year is starting. You all look sleepy. What, did you doze through the new year? Was Shogatsu one big excuse to laze around? Good grief, Shogatsu's not supposed to be an excuse to relax, you know? We decorate with karomatsu, kamigami mochi, kagami mochi, and shimenawa in order to welcome the Toshigami deities. Please, stop using these words. It's one of the oldest traditions in Japan. Okay, there's Mishima. He's right on the side of the screen. Couldn't see him behind my mic. By the way, cherry blossom viewing and even Children's Day are meant to commemorate deities and spirits. Japan's got a lot of gods, so naturally there ended up being a lot of events and rituals to accommodate to them all. There's a phrase referring to all the Shinto gods as a collective. Anyone know it offhand? That's actually kind of a useful term that I don't think I know.
What is the answer?
Alright, Takamaki-san, I bet you slept through Shogatsu. Yes, I mean...
Hey, wait!
Hey, Lady Anna's obviously panicking. Be a good guy and help her out.
Seriously?
I'm so unlucky. I didn't even sleep through Shogatsu. Ren, are you awake? Can you give me a hint? It's a phrase about the gods, but kind of abstract, right? What's the phrase supposed to illustrate about gods of Shinto? How numerous they are. No, please give me the term. Yeah, I think that's right. They use a specific number, don't they? What's that phrase again? The one about how many gods there are in Shinto? Isn't it like 1 million or something? Actually, might be the 8 million gods. Oh, it's not letting me cheat. I think it's the 8 million gods. Yeah, I think that's it. So people call the gods of Shinto the 8 million gods.
This is it.
Oh.
Correct.
I actually kind of wanted them to give us the Japanese term on that one because I've heard the term 8 million gods before, but I don't actually know what the Japanese phrase is. Assumedly, it's literally like million or like million 8 no kami or something. We call them Yayorozu no Kami, or the 8 million gods. There we go. Yayorozu. I have heard that term before. Or Yayorozu no Kami. I've definitely heard that term before at some point. Though that number is not meant to be taken literally. Yayorozu is essentially shorthand for myriad gods, an uncountable number. In olden days, the Japanese believed that gods dwelled in everything. What with all these traditions, you could say these beliefs still affect our lives today. It's a wonderful thing, really. We need to cherish our history.
Nice going!
Lady Ann seems really relieved. Because it's the new semester, I was terrified they were going to extend the star out from rank 5 to rank 6. You're pretty good studying. I'm impressed.
You've been awfully busy lately. Don't forget to eat lunch.
I was gonna guess Sumire, but duh, of course, we're meeting Lavenza.
As for myself, be sure to order some jelly-filled bread and... That's...
The Velvet Room butterfly. Let's follow it.
Yeah, let's go.
Reuse the mechanic from the palace.
Hey!
Or the pre-palace, whatever. Chase it down so you don't lose sight of it.
Making fun of me?
Go faster. I was gonna guess rooftop.
Oh!
You see that? Went to the first floor. Where on earth is it trying to go? Come on, we gotta follow it for now. Are they gonna finally add a Velvet Room entrance to the damn school? Because, like, this looks like it's going to a new place.
For real?
A nurse's office? What's going on here? They had that door as they had the door programmed as openable, so they're repurposing it as the Velvet Room area or something. It's just like my dream. You haven't shown up in your dreams? That's strange. Well, never mind that. There's no point thinking about that right now. Let's get inside the nurse's office, quickly. Everyone's been in high spirits since the turn of the new year. It's weird. Did something happen? I heard everyone's happy that all their wishes came true, so that's probably it, right? But being too happy might not always be a good thing. You have to be motivated to win a match. Sounds like you've been talking to your boyfriend on the soccer team a little too much. Oh, come on, being happy is a good thing. I was hoping they were going to comment on the butterfly. Damn. She's going to poof into existence? Yep, there we go.
Lady Lavenza.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
So are you literally the butterfly, or was that more just like a messenger for you? Or like you teleported in to replace the butterfly? What's with the formality?
That's odd. I thought humans regularly exchange phrases such as that upon meeting. Perhaps it would have been more appropriate to say, "What's up?"
No. Please go back to high formality. It fits you so much better.
Oh, well, anyway, how about we get this started?
Should we call everyone else then?
As I told you yesterday, there's something I wish to tell you. But first, please gather your other friends here.
Here? You want to meet in the nurse's office?
Well, the only other person who's ever been in this room doesn't work here anymore, so we're not going to be disturbed. We do have a school nurse, right?
This place is filled with the cognition of bed rest. Maintaining my existence in a reality controlled by someone like Maruki is no simple feat. But the exhaustion that it induces is limited by this place's cognition, so I may converse with you all in person here.
Oh, the cognition of bed rest means that it's closer to dreams, like there's more resting that is inherent. So it's a little bit closer to the Velvet Room in terms of cognition. Like, it's Persona. They can ass-pull whatever reasoning they want whenever, but I do follow that.
I see.
Let us continue this conversation once everyone involved has convened. Until that time, I will provide my eyes a much-needed rest.
Wait, rest? Lady Lavenza?
Yep, her eyes. Nothing else.
I guess we should get everyone in here.
Please tell me they just show up and we don't have to go find them. We already had tracking everyone down, thank you.
Infiltration success.
I'm rather surprised no one took notice of us.
Considering how I don't have an adequate excuse for the school to approve your being here, we're lucky it went as well as it did.
As long as you maintain an air of confidence, you can fool just about anybody into thinking you belong.
Hello, pleasant boy.
I must say, though, I hadn't expected you to actually reach out to me for something like this.
Well, it's just as we said before. We've accepted your offer to work together. Now's not the time to let personal stuff get in the way of our goal.
We gonna get one more? No.
But if you ever betray us again, we'll make sure you regret it.
All right, then. That's no concern of mine, anyway. Remember what I told you all before. We share a mutual interest. Until Maruki is defeated, we have a deal to uphold.
What's up?
It appears that everyone's arrived.
Okay, so you consider this to be everyone. Like, I don't know how much she knows about Kasumi or whether Kasumi would be considered a part of the team or not. I suppose she never did officially join the Phantom Thieves, and even Akechi did officially join at one point, even if it was to trick us.
Does this mean you're ready to begin?
Ain't that our line?
Care to fill us in?
Yes. I wished to speak with you about the circumstances that led this Maruki to alter reality as you know it.
Cool. Interested in knowing that. When you came back in, you were clearly still sleepy though, like rubbing your eyes half open, that kind of thing. I guess that was just kind of artistic choice. Like, they wanted to show that she was just waking up from her nap when she appeared. There's no, like, narrative reason for that as best I'm aware.
As well as the true nature of his power.
You know all of that?
I admit there will be a degree of speculation involved, but only to a small extent. First, I will explain the situation with the current reality. I believe that Maruki has altered the cognition of the masses. In other words, it's thought that the alterations he's made are the result of his meddling with mementos.
He changed mementos? How is that even possible?
No, like, actually, though. I thought we got rid of mementos. Like, would the collective consciousness of reality still exist? It's just like, we took the desires, so that would change the masses, so it would, like, reform into something more amorphous for a while. I had to come back.
Wait, don't forget about our experience with the Metanav and Maruki's palace. Seems like this kind of thing has a habit of sticking around despite our expectations.
Mementos is the cognition of the masses given form. If that man is truly capable of controlling individuals' cognitions, and that man were also to gain access to mementos, it would be no surprise that he could impact everyone's cognitions and affect reality itself.
This is also in some ways setting up that mementos, or at least collective unconsciousness, could then continue through all Persona games into the future, because there's no way to actually get rid of it. It's just kind of always there, but in different forms.
Could he really have done all that? I mean, it's assumed that Dr. Maruki has the power to control cognition, right?
Exactly. That man's controlling of cognition. Let's see. Why don't we refer to his power as actualization?
Oh, that's what he referred to it as, so sure.
Most likely, that actualization is a power unique to a persona. In other words, this man named Maruki is...
He's a persona user?
That's impossible.
Why? What about that makes it so unbelievable?
There's no way to have a persona and a palace at the same time.
Okay, you know what? Fair's fair, game. They set that up in like the second arc or something like that. Where because you have a persona means that you have ripped off your mask. You are not willing to hide your desires. You are true to yourself and understand your distortions or whatever the hell. Whereas a palace is literally the inverse. You have hidden yourself away, your desires have become distorted and changed how you see reality. Right, Persona is more that you are willing to face reality head on, whereas Palace is you're hiding away from reality with your distorted desires. So having both at the same time is inherently contradictory. If Maruki can change people's cognition, though, that might be how he does it. He kind of could change his own cognition to give himself a palace, / cognitive science bullshittery. Never doubt how much bullshittery they can put into something like that.
Determining when Maruki first awakened to his power is wholly impossible. However, by the time he crossed your paths, there's no doubt that he was making use of his actualization, although he may have only been doing so subconsciously.
Even if it is just his subconscious, he's using a persona in the real world.
So, his ability to make Yoshizawa-san think she was Kasumi-chan.
It was most likely through the use of actualization.
Still though, even if we assume that Maruki has unique persona abilities, such as the case with him and myself, we still need to determine how he used that power on mementos as a whole, rather than a single individual.
Right. Even if there were some kind of power that could affect mementos, it's on a whole other level from what we've seen so far. A single person just shouldn't be capable of all that.
That's true. Changing reality just by thinking about it isn't something humans do. It's something that, like, gods do.
And we already killed one of those. Okay, fair is fair. The actual narrative does explain that it wasn't exactly a god, Yagabauth or whatever, but it was the treasure of mementos that, due to the collective unconsciousness of humanity, had taken on a godlike form and decided that it was the god of control.
And what if he became such a god?
What? The god of control.
Maruki's become the god of therapy! Oh no!
Indeed, the being in mementos that you all defeated was a false deity that the masses deludedly clung to.
Yeah, but we killed it. So, where's this going?
It is easy to conclude that Maruki simply took over the false god's position when it disappeared.
Okay, let me think this through a little bit. Because we don't technically know that that could not happen. The main difference here is that Mementos, as a palace, did not have a ruler. Its ruler and its treasure were one and the same. So, we never actually got a very good understanding of if Mementos could have a ruler or not. So, whether Maruki could slip into that position as a god controlling Mementos, would Maruki himself be considered the treasure or the ruler? Likely the latter, but if he's considered the ruler and not the treasure, then does he have a treasure? Based on how this game is formatted, probably yes. An interesting twist here would be if the answer is no, and we do well and truly need to either talk him down from his ideals to show that making everyone happy and trauma-free is not the better reality, or just kill him. I don't think this game is going in that direction, but that would be interesting.
Took over his position? What do you mean? So you're saying society thinks of Doc as a god now or something?
Now, the Phantom Thieves are the ones who gained the masses' support after defeating this so-called god of control. So it would follow that the masses would turn to the Phantom Thieves next as their savior. In that case, why did they instead turn to Maruki, who did none of the work the Phantom Thieves did?
And who very few people would know the name of. Like, the public knowing the Phantom Thieves is a significant portion of why they believed in us. The masses were invested in the Phantom Thieves, not Maruki.
Wait, you what? What do you mean? We never wished for anything like that.
Is that really true?
It's most likely because
We chose Maruki.
What? After we defeated the god of control, we wished for reality to be like Dr. Maruki described it. And it happened?
Not gonna lie, not sure I entirely follow that link, because the masses would still be believing in us. If that puts us at the center of Mementos, essentially turns us into the god of control for a little bit, then us believing in Maruki would not necessarily bestow that power onto him, nor allow him to control that power. And also, we didn't so much as hear about Maruki for the ending of December. Like, that was something that I was actually waiting for him to come back in because I knew that this kind of thing was coming. But, like, it didn't show up. So after that fight, we would have had that godlike power, and we would not have been thinking of Maruki because he wasn't in the picture at the time.
I don't remember doing any wishing with you guys and Doc. I mean, when would we have even had the chance to?
There you go. That. Are we gonna go New Year's here because everyone made a wish? Because reality was already kind of fucked at that point. Like, no one was at the shrine because all their wishes were already fulfilled, blah blah blah.
What about our counseling?
That was well before we took on the God of Control, so that should not backpropagate that far. That'd be like saying, as 8-year-olds, we promised our best friend to always believe in them, so our friend when we were 8, now that we're 16, suddenly can control the entirety of humanity because our power bled into them because we believe in them. You can't change the past, but you still want to keep your chin up and press onward. Is that the gist of it? Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it'd definitely be better if none of this had happened at all, but... Well, no matter what path you may have to take to get there, I hope your track dreams will still do you some good in the end. Thanks!
Looks like you all walked right into the spider's parlor.
I am unused to that phrase, but I can tell what it means. And yeah, I figured that the counseling sessions were gonna come back with this new semester. Like I just explained, I don't think I totally follow the narrative link here, but hey, they're trying at least.
There's no way of knowing how many of those situations were intentionally orchestrated by that man. However, the result is still the same. A desire for his actualization was seeded within your hearts. Thus, I have no doubt that it was your own desires that led to their actualization.
So this is all our fault, huh?
We're the ones who told him the cognitive world really exists, too.
I wonder if it's purposeful that Lavenza is looking at us, at me, the player, rather than any of the Phantom Thieves. Like, they left a gap in the circle so that the picture could frame her better, so that there's nothing really interfering with her silhouette. But, like, there is a meta reading to this as well, where it's our own desires have led to the actualization of this reality. Well, guess what? We're playing Persona 5 Royal, not Persona 5. Persona 5 sold so well that they released Royal, people bought it, and have played to the new content. Blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. He has to be stopped.
Right, let's fight. If this is our own fault, we've got to be the ones to fix it.
Yes. This realization changes none of what we must do.
Very well. Then allow me to proceed. This world is in a very unstable condition currently. On the day that the God of Control fused mementos with the real world, the merging was undone through your efforts, and the two worlds are now attempting to return to their initial states.
So, what you're saying is this world has reverted to a state where the fusion with mementos hasn't been totally undone. That explains why Maruki's palace was visible in Odaiba.
Fair enough. Good logic.
Even as we speak, Maruki is still influencing this world in places where its boundaries are blurred. As slow a pace as it may be, he still continues to actualize the world of the masses as a whole. Should this continue, reality shall merge with mementos once more. The two worlds will again become one. When that happens, anyone trapped within the actualized world can never again awaken to the original one.
No.
This issue goes beyond the masses as well. Although you are all Persona users, it would be next to impossible to defy Maruki in a world completely under his control.
I feel like her voice has gotten a little bit deeper. I think that the very limited voice lines she had in the base game in the end of December, she only had to do a couple of lines, so she went for a higher, more childlike or youthful register. Now that she actually has, like, pages of dialogue to get through, it's going a bit more into her natural register, I think.
To be clear, once the two worlds conclude their fusion, there will be no chance of your success in this mission. And I believe this fusion will conclude in 1 month's time.
Okay, go on. How do you know that one?
We only have a month.
I mean, technically we have until the 3rd, I think.
If memory serves me correctly, February 3rd was the date Dr. Maruki gave us, right? Could he have possibly chosen the time limit based on when his actualization will be completed?
It's possible.
If that's the case, we don't got another choice except to steal his treasure by then.
We'll need to secure our route to the treasure by the 2nd so we can send our calling card. Then, on the day of, we're most likely going to have to fight Maruki.
Let me read that again, just to be safe. Secure the route by the 2nd. day of Fight Maruki. I suspect they're going to do another thing like Sae, where they're going to actually set it so that it's on the 3rd is when you fight, even if you get there well before then.
Allow me to produce the calling card. This is certain to be our final card.
Again.
I'll pour my heart and soul into its creation.
Again.
Be that as it may, there are still some unsolved questions.
I'm gonna do meta nav here, because Palace's ruler, that should just be Maruki, isn't it?
Right.
What's the deal with the palace's name? Doesn't seem to affect the app's functions, but
That must also be a product of Maruki's cognition.
Also, now that we can talk to you in the real world and all that, can you tell us about the app? Because we have never gotten a goddamn answer about what the hell created it. We assume that it's Igor, or possibly the god of creation, but would you like to clarify by any chance?
He most likely learned that you could somehow infiltrate the metaverse. As long as he permits your existence, your method of infiltration will not entirely disappear either.
So, if he excludes our existence? Like, Maruki has brought people back from the dead. Can he, undo / can he unalive people is actually literally what I'm asking.
However, in his heart, he must have feared you would learn his identity as the palace's ruler.
I mean, he didn't exactly hide it all that well. Okay, look, I wanted to bring this up earlier, but then I didn't have a good time to. The scene with, at the time, Kasumi, now Sumire, when she first enters the palace. They try to treat it like such a mystery as to what the hell is going on. It's a new palace, who's the ruler, how'd we get in, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, the scene literally has the 3 keywords. Dr. Maruki, athletic stadium or whatever that place is, research facility, or research lab or something. Like, look, I can see what they were going for there, but they needed to make it more of a crowd. They needed to have a dozen people passing by Sumire at that moment and have, like, so many overlapping speech bubbles that you can't tell what's going on. And then with that, at the very least, we wouldn't know the stadium and lab keywords. She is the one that said Maruki, though. And that one's a little bit difficult to take care of, because the only way to obfuscate that is if there were a lot of other names being said. And honestly, it's kind of obvious if you do that. So that scene, I think, needed 2 or 3 more drafts, and possibly some foreshadowing and follow-through, so that it wasn't just one scene with that kind of crowd going on. But the thing is, like, as it exists, those 3 keywords are very easy to pick out when you realize that the metanav is just looking for those 3 keywords, and they were in the scene. It's acting as foreshadowing, but it's foreshadowing in the same way that a Chekhov's gun is in the background, but you don't just see it in the background, you, like, see someone load it, cock the hammer, and then put it up. Like, suddenly, it's really obvious that that gun's gonna go off by the 3rd act. It was really obvious that Maruki's gonna be the palace ruler, because his name was the only name in that scene. There was no one else who could be the palace ruler, assuming that the metanav was working as it had for the entire rest of the game, before and since that moment. Rant over, moving on.
Perhaps such a feeling took the form of hiding the ruler's name from you.
But in that case, why didn't Dr. Maruki just actualize us out of existence entirely?
Why not unalive us? Exactly. Maybe he wants to save us. That actually does track, fair.
Maruki told us he wants us to accept his world. It may be hard to believe, But since we mutually benefit from his actualization, maybe he really does want us to submit.
Sorry, even if it does fix shit for us, I just can't accept the world getting treated like that.
Again, they're treating the loss of freedom as a very big deal. But honestly, in exchange for everyone losing their trauma and living happy, fulfilled lives, I personally fall on the side of I would at least want to hear Maruki out. Like, he clearly doesn't want violence. Let's have, like, weekly meetings with him until one comes to understand the other, and let's see where it goes.
Let's start the infiltration tomorrow, yeah? And you? Sound good?
You're willing to ask me as well?
Duh, dude. The Phantom Thieves don't act unless it's a unanimous vote.
Fine then.
Does Lavenza get a vote?
You know I have no intention of accepting Maruki's world anyway.
Then that settles that.
Wait, what about Yoshizawa-san?
I mean, she's never officially joined us.
We may not have summoned her as one of the Phantom Thieves. This definitely involves her as well.
Maybe we should fill her in on our situation once she comes to terms with her own. What she does with that information, though, that's up to her.
Right.
If that concludes matters, I shall continue to watch over you, Trickster. Please show me the path that you choose for humanity.
I do find it a little interesting that she hasn't put her hair back up.
Guess we might as well close up for the night.
Like, obviously it's also to differentiate that she is now Sumire, like, in case you... There's no way you could miss that she's not Kasumi. They were very explicit about that. But I choose to believe that it is a little bit of character art there, where she is not entirely on board with remaining as Kasumi now that she has remembered that she isn't. So her hair is down as a symbol that she is becoming Sumire again.
Hey, once you're done washing that, you can go ahead and call it a welcome.
Yoshizawa?
Have a seat.
Do you just not recognize her or something? She's been here a couple times.
She's here to see you, right? Now, don't worry about finishing up. I'll take care of it later.
Been going for a smoke?
Sorry for coming over so late.
Oh, I see the shelves are still completely empty.
And thank you for the coffee. It's delicious. Would you mind if I got something off my chest? Thank you. So, to tell the truth, I saw you all go into the nurse's office today, and, I sort of eavesdropped on your conversation.
About Maruki?
You've all found the paths you want to take, and are following them with such confidence. Whereas, I'm simply... Like Dr. Maruki said before, I ran from the truth. I couldn't handle the fact that Kasumi died because of my actions. My memories are still a bit hazy, but even when I remembered that I'm really Sumire, I didn't want to accept it. I was still running from reality, where Kasumi is gone, where I had to live for Kasumi instead of as her.
You still want to run?
No. Like I said earlier, I realized something when I saw you all striving to push onward. I can't keep running like this. But now that Kasumi's gone, I have no idea what to do with myself. Senpai, What should I do?
You have to decide, not me.
You can be awfully firm sometimes, Senpai, but you're absolutely correct. I must thank you for allowing me to unload all of this onto you. I'm still not completely sure what I should do, but I plan to think more on it. I've got to figure out what to do with my life now.
Let's reform society.
Fantastic voice line! Tomorrow we're going to the palace. We're gonna take back the world. The real world. Rewriting reality. I would never have thought such a thing possible. Not only that, but this palace is ruled by a persona user. How does that make any sense? I know god modding when I see it. At this point, he basically is a god, right? That shit makes Sheeta look small time. We need to come up with a plan. That's a good point. We should meet up tomorrow. Sounds good. Speaking of which, how should we contact Akechi-kun? I guess we could let him back in the group chat, right? Yep, that'd be quickest. Let's put him in. I started getting a call the instant I pressed that button. What the fuck? Alright, I'll take care of it. Thanks! 1 month to go, huh? You better come up with a plan. That time is gonna go by fast. No, it won't, Morgana. Well, actually, it will, because I have gotten all my confidants in line. It would go much slower if I had to hang out with people.
Hey.
We can't fail. Let's stop Maruki. It's something only we can do. Can I go down?
Hey.
I know you want to get ready, but saving your strength is part of strategy too.
Hey.
I know you're stressed, but don't stay up late. There's always tomorrow.
Hey.
Damn it.
I should write something.
Hey.
This isn't going to be easy. Well, we have Ryuji back, so it's going to be easier than it would be. Let's keep our guard up. Sleep.